Hello, Louise. Hi, everyone. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy actually to participate in this conference today and share my experience with you.
It's wonderful to have you here. So we've had a very busy morning looking at some great options and discussing different choices that people can make, what's going to drive them to make their investment decision. And what's wonderful about, we went through Ekaterina's presentation yesterday. What's wonderful about the way in which this information will be presented this morning is that it really can give you a snapshot of how much you're planning on spending, where you would like to access, where would you like to spend, what the different options are, and then of course we will focus in on some different properties. Ekaterina, I know that you are on a timeline a little bit ahead of us, and you have a busy afternoon, so perhaps I can just sort of hand over to you if you don't mind, and let's hear what's on offer and how Niv Real Estate can assist.
That's great. That's great. Thank you very much, Louise. Can you just also please go
can
to
you
the
hear me,
next
Ekaterina?
slide? Yeah. Do you hear me? Yeah, you hear me? That's great. That's great. It's a pleasure.
We have a little bit on my side, a little bit of a slow connection. If we can, Clem, I'm not sure if you're there in the background, if everybody can hear Ekaterina.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, good. So I'm Ekaterina Nikitina, and I'm an owner of international real estate company, Niv Real Estate. We are based in Dubai, and we are helping our clients to find the best properties all over the world, because we are working with different countries, with over 40 countries. So if clients is looking to buy property for their own use, or maybe as an investment, or in order to obtain a residence permit or citizenship, so we will assist with all these goals. So today I'm going to focus more on two countries, which is UAE and particularly Dubai, and the second one is Grenada. So can you go to the next slide, please? And one more. As I said, we work a lot with immigration programs by investment. So if you buy property in the countries which are presented on this slide, you can get a residence permit or a citizenship. So each of these countries has different benefits and different amount of money which you should invest in order to obtain your immigration status. So just a little bit, I will stay on the difference between a residence permit and citizenship by investment. So residence permit is a document which allow you to stay for the specific, length of time in a country. For example, if you buy property in Greece for over 250,000 euro, you can obtain a residence permit for 5 years for your family. It means you can stay for 5 years in Greece. Of course, you can go in, go out. You can also travel to any other countries in the Schengen area, Schengen zone, and then you can just show that you still own this property and extend it for more years. Citizenship by investment, it's exactly the same, has exactly the same benefits. Once you get the citizenship by investment, you have the same benefits as the other citizen of the country have. So there is no difference if you were born or if you got it by investment. So you see that there are quite a lot of programs. We are helping to our clients to choose the best one according to their requirements and their budget. but we will focus more on two countries as I mentioned before. So can you go to the next slide, please? So we will start with UAE residency here, and we will start from the question why people are choosing UAE and Dubai particularly as a destination. And next slide, please. First of all, if you invest in a property $550,000, you can obtain a 10 years residence permit for your family. So you can stay in the country and also you can open a bank account. So because we have quite a lot of clients who are struggling in opening bank account in other countries. So this is really a good option. Also, you can buy property for $200,000 approximately, which is 750,000 dirhams, and you will get a 2 years residence visa for your family. So you need just in 2 years time, you can again extend it if you show that you still own the properties. So coming back to the destination, we have a lot of clients here coming from different countries. They come here alone, they come here with the family. So why they're choosing Dubai? First of all, it's a very high level of security, which is very important for the children. If you come here and stay with the children, there are a lot of international schools, so you can also pick up the best one for your child. And there are a lot of different activities for both for adults and for the children as well. So can we go to the next slide? So you will never, I promise you, you will never get bored in Dubai. No, not you, not your children. So why investors from all over the world are choosing Dubai? Why they are heavily investing now in properties in Dubai? So what is the reasons? First of all, it's a zero income tax. So you don't pay any taxes if, for example, you buy a property, you rent it out, you don't pay any income tax. Only you pay taxes where you are a tax resident, so in a country where you're a tax resident, but in UAE, in Dubai, you pay nothing. So there is also zero property tax. You don't pay any taxes during a year. The only expenses what you will have, it's a maintenance fee. It's what you are paying to the management company to keep the common areas well maintained. But the property taxes in Dubai and UAE, it's zero. Also, you can earn up to 8% if you rent your property out. It's actually from 4 to 8%, depending on which type of rent you are choosing, because there are 3 types of rent in Dubai, which is long term. You can rent it if you rent your property out for a year, mid term if you rent it from 3 to 6 months, and short term where you can get the higher ROI. As I said, it could be up to 8% if you rent your property for a short term, like 1, 2, 3 days, 1 week. And there is a very high demand in renting for both tourists and for the business people who are coming here, because every year there are a lot of tourists are coming to Dubai, and also a lot of business activities are taking place in Dubai. For example, right now. Also, keep in mind that dirham, which is national currency, it's a very stable currency. You as investor will know how much you will get in dollars, how much ROI, how much yield you get if you rent your property out in dollars, or how much you will get when you resell your properties also in dollars, which is very important for the investors. So can we go to the next slide? As I said that we have a variety of the properties in Dubai and actually across of UAE as well, in other cities in Abu Dhabi as well. So in Dubai, we work with all major developers. We have in our portfolio a lot of different properties, starting from a small studio, could be 1, 2, 3 bedroom apartments, townhouses, big mansions, villas. It's all depend on what you are looking for. If you want to invest, if you want to move with your family, you want to get a higher ROI, you want to rent it out, or you want maybe to buy at the early stage of the construction and then resale it later. So we've chosen some very interesting options for you, and I'm going to start. Can we just go to the next slide? From the cozy community, a green community, which is located just next to downtown and next to Business Bay. It's 12 minutes by car. And here we appreciate a lot of, living in this kind of community where there are a lot of greeneries, where there is water nearby, where there are schools, so you can relax after the hard work. You can just go for a walk with your children. So in this community, you will find everything. It's going to be a crystal lagoon in 2025. It's going to be a metro station also in 2025, which will push the price in this area as well. So there are 2 international schools, very good ones, by the way, a lot of greeneries. The whole project is divided into 4 phases. 3 phases are going to be completed in the middle of next year. So you can start renting out your apartment already next year, or you can move with your family here. So here we have a selection of studios and 1 bedroom apartments, and studios starts from $220,000. So this one of my favorite communities, I would say. So, and it's good to mention that the lagoon, it's an artificial crystal lagoon. We have already this kind of lagoon in Dubai. It's done by other developers, and also the owners of the apartments. They can use the beach. They can go and swim in this lagoon. So that's not only for like sports. So let's go to the next one. So the next project also will be completed in a couple of months. So you can start renting your apartment out, or you can move in with your family. It's an exceptional location. It's just next to 2 big parks. It's 5 minutes by walk to a metro station. It's just next to IFC area. It's a financial district, so you can easily rent this property out. You can obtain a residence permit for your family, and as I said, you can move here or start getting your return immediately. So can we move on? So next project is located in a business area. It's canal view. It's first line of the canal. So why we've chosen this property for the presentation? Because here it's also, I mean, this project is completed, but you don't need to pay the whole amount of money up front. You can just pay 30% of the price, and the rest 70 you can pay by installment during the next 3 years. This location, it's one of the best, the top location for a short term. Also, we are working closely with the company which calls Holiday Homes in Dubai. They help renting out the apartments for a short term. They will finish your property at the hotel room and start renting it out. So you can get your money and cover the rest of your payment, which is 70%. So this is really good options for those who wants to obtain a residence permit and start getting a return immediately and doesn't want to pay everything up front. So can we go to the next slide, please? As I said, we don't have only apartments in our portfolio and also a lot of villas and townhouses. If you're planning to move with your family, you have a big family, so we can offer a variety of the projects. This one, I think everyone in Dubai very excited about this project. It's the next biggest community with a lot of green territory, with the crystal lagoons, with the schools, cafes, restaurants, kids areas. It's like going to be a city in the city. And as it's on the very early stage of the construction, then you can pick up the best options. You don't need to pay everything up front. You just pay down payment, 20% of the price, and the rest 60 you're paying according to the construction size, and 20 when the property is completed. So this one is really very interesting project, and the prices are affordable. So we can even find townhouses for $500,000, $600,000 for this budget, which is quite difficult, for this type of the property, for this type of the communities in Dubai. So can we go to the next? And also this is an example of high-end properties, luxury properties. This project is located on Palm Jumeirah. I believe that some of you have been in Dubai and know about this artificial island. It was built the island itself was built in 2006 by the government company Nakheel. And now it's almost, it's very hard to find the plot to build something on this island, because it's like everything is built already. It's almost, all 5-star hotels are located here. And if we're talking about properties, it's also villas or apartments and villas on the territory of the hotels. For example, this project is Six Senses. It's located on the first line of the sea and includes 8 villas, 4 buildings with penthouses and big apartments. So the owners of the properties here can use the facilities of 5-star hotel Six Senses, such as cafes, restaurants, swimming pools, tennis court, kids area. So there are a lot of really amenities. So, and you don't need to care about your property. You just come and stay in your apartment or in your villa, and like you would stay in a hotel, for example. So here you also pay 50% during the construction and 50% when the property is ready. And the completion date for this project is 2024. So that's briefly all about the projects in Dubai and UAE. Of course, we have much more. So if you're interested, you can also leave your message in the chat or ask Louise for our contact details. We will be happy to assist you to find the best properties according to your requirements and budget. So the second country I would like to talk is Grenada. So as I said, that in UAE you can buy property and obtain a residence permit. In Grenada you can invest in property and obtain a citizenship. So can we go to the next slide, please? Sorry, Louise, do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
Yeah,
and
sorry.
we can
Yeah,
see your
it was a
slide. No
problem.
problem.
That's
There was
great.
a
That's
little
great.
delay there, but it's all good.
Yeah. Uh, so, regarding the Grenada, what you need to know in order to obtain a Grenada citizenship, you need to invest by investment. If we are talking about investment, you need to invest minimum $220,000 in some projects. So it's a specific project which are approved by the government. So you cannot just go to Grenada and pick up any projects and say that I want to get a citizenship. It's just some specific project. You can resale your property. It can be a hotel room, or it can be even the shares in the hotels. You can resale it in 5 years' time and get your money back. So you don't need, for the Grenada, you can keep your first or second citizenship, and Grenadian one could be like short, the second one or third one. And also, it's a quite short period. It takes from 3 to 6 months to obtain Grenada citizenship and to get a passport by itself. So next slide, please. Let's talk a little bit about the which benefits you will get as which benefits Grenada gives. So first of all, of course, it's visa-free traveling for over 140 countries. The most interesting for our clients, of course, it's the countries of Schengen area, Schengen zone. So you don't need to go to any embassies. You don't need to take time. Don't need to spend your time, so you can just take your passport and go to any countries. Also, the United Kingdom, also that you don't need visa there. This is what our clients like very much. What is important that you can obtain an E2 business visa to the USA. For those who are planning to move to the USA, or maybe you're planning to send your children there. So because if you it's quite easy to get if you have Grenadian passport. And also tax optimization, and if you would like to open a company, or you need maybe a proof of address, if you don't want to use your own passport, like you're opening bank account in other countries, and the banks are asking if you have like a residency or the address, the proof of address in any other countries, so you can easily provide this document. So can we just move to the next slide, please? And next one. If we are talking about projects, what should the criteria of obtaining Grenadian citizenship? As I said, it's some specific projects, and you have to be very careful when you choose the property to invest, because there are a lot of developers who are known building the project but never finish this. And we are working only with the trustable developers. For example, the developer of this project, which I'm going to present you, he has already completed projects in the Caribbean countries, in St. Kitts and Nevis, in Dominica. It's also hotels. They are already operated. You can see it, you can go and stay there. They also built a Six Senses hotel in Grenada, and this is their next project. Here you are not buying an apartment. You are buying a share in this for this amount, 220. You're buying a share, you invest, you can obtain your passport, and as I said before, you can resell your share in 5 years time to someone who would like to also to participate in Grenada citizenship program. So next slide. Yeah. So I was trying to be short, quick. I hope that it was a nice presentation. And now I'm very happy to answer to all the questions.
Gotcha, that was great. Thank you so much. Do you think, Clem, sorry, would you mind keeping the presentation on for a second and just scroll back to the slide? I think it's the third or so slide that shows the difference between citizenship and residency. There was a few different options. I just wanted to, I just had a couple of questions around that, and perhaps we can also just talk about the financial structure. So if I look at this slide and I look it down, because it's what I found very interesting about the slide is that you can very simply read what the entry level amount is if you're looking at these different locations. If you're determined to use the option of investment, immigration through investment, or citizenship through investment, these are the options. So when we spoke about this last night, you know, I'm a South African. I scan the price and I immediately go, oh, look, there's an option of 2.3 million Rand for a citizenship through investment. And you cautioned me about that type of thinking. Maybe we can go through this. So the European countries, and then the Caribbean countries. So Caribbean countries come across to me as if it is a lesser amount that I need to invest should I want to get citizenship. Can you just tell me a little bit more about that? Is that the case, or should you be more cautious when you're just looking at the bottom line price?
Yeah, I mean, it's very important for us at the company who are working with this kind of request to understand what his client needs. So whether he wants just to invest the money, maybe he wants to move in a country in Europe, for example, they want to go out of their country, or maybe they don't want to go out and move from their own country. They just want, to obtain this, to get the status. It all depends because the amount is different and the benefits of each of this program is also different. For example, if we are talking about residence permit, so these ones are suited for those who are planning maybe to go to Europe. Maybe they like Europe. They want to stay there more than 3 months per 6 months, and more than 3 months per 6 months, and more than 6 months per year. So maybe in the future, their children are going to study in Barcelona, for example, or in in other countries. So in this case, if the clients are planning to move, then I would definitely recommend to have a look at residence permit programs. If we're talking about Caribbean countries, yes, it's smaller amount comparing to any other immigration programs. But then you have to understand that if you wanna move to Greece, for example, or you want to move to Europe and live there, you cannot do it with a Caribbean passport. So this passport will allow you only to go without visa, so you don't need to get a visa, and stay in Greece, for example, but not more than 3 months during 6 months, not more than 6 months during 12 years. And also Caribbean countries, I mean, some of them are very small, for example, Dominica, St. Lucia, so it's not really comfortable to stay. If clients are planning to move, I would recommend whether to choose Grenada, Antigua, Barbuda, and St. Kitts and Nevis. So, it's like all depends. For example, like Maltese citizenship, as you see, the most expensive program out of the whole immigration programs. But then Malta is a part of European Union, Schengen area, and Eurozone. So that's a very, very strong passport. So it means that if you and your family obtain this passport, you can go and live not in Malta, you can live in any other countries of European Union. So your children can go to school, can go to university. They have exactly the same rights. So it all depends what clients are looking for.
Absolutely. So, so just talking about a little bit about the if you have found someone, you know, a lot of the questions that we've had during the course of the morning and pre-event is, I think people are genuinely struggling to, you know, to identify which, whether it's residency or citizenship, which is the best program for them. I think questions like, you know, can I work? How do I, earning a living is fundamental. You know, how do I earn my living? Do I keep my properties and assets in South Africa and move my family for security reasons across to another country? You know, if I think about my personal case, my child would like to study overseas, and with our exchange rate, that's quite an ask. You know, how is there an option? You know, is a citizen or residency program going to open some doorways for us when it comes to tertiary education that perhaps are not necessarily open if you just remain in South Africa? And then, of course, many of our clients are looking for a way in which they can diversify their investment and move some of their assets and their money across, and by buying up units. So if I choose to buy a unit, and we can click out of this presentation if you would like to, but if I choose to buy a unit in, say, Dubai, how do I, you know, I'm a nerd. How do I look at that payment structure? So I've identified one of the units. Perhaps I'm not in the 44 million rand category. I'm looking at something around the 4.5 or up to 6 million rand category, or around the 6.4, I think was that very nice apartments you mentioned, where there was a 30% payment and 70% payment over a 3-year period. Can you tell me how that payment structure works, and what are the securities in place from the Dubai side?
Okay, great. So actually, it's very secure to invest in Dubai because each of the developer, they have a escrow account. So you are not sending the money to the corporate account to the company, so you don't know how they are going to use it. You know that this money are going to the escrow account, and the money will be released to the developer from this escrow account according to the stage of the construction. So if, for example, you're going to buy off-plan properties, just started the construction, for example, you want to invest. So how does it happen? You choose a property, you book a property, you book the unit. So usually it's about $10,000. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, depending on the project. So you book a unit, you get OTP, which is called offer to purchase. It's 2-3 pages documents, what shows what you are buying, who is buying, you know, this short information. Then you go to your bank, you take also from a developer invoice and this OTP. OTP, it's a kind of preliminary contract, we can say. You go to your bank, you pay the money from your bank account to the bank account of the developer. And once they receive this money, they confirm they receive the money, they start preparing SPA. SPA, and this is a sales and purchase agreement, the main document. Once it's ready, it can take time because it's quite, you know, in some developers it could be like 100 pages, for example. It can take like 1, 2, 3 weeks to prepare. Then you have to sign it from your side. Developer will sign it from his side. If you are not in Dubai physically, the developer will send it to you by DHL. You sign it, You send it back, and developer signed it and send it to you. So then he registered this SPA in a land department. So it also takes time. It takes like from one, it could be 1 or 2 or even 3 months sometimes. After registering, you get the document on your email. So here's like almost everything by email. You don't need to go and get like original documents. So you will get directly from the DLD department, which is Dubai Land Department, you will get documents OCUT. These documents show that you are already an owner, but because the property is still under construction and you are not, you're still paying, you haven't paid it off, you get this document. So, which prove that you are an owner. Then then you are continue paying the rest of your the rest of the money which you have to pay by installment. Once the property is completed, you paid it off, you get your title deed. So for if the property is under construction, you get OCUT, which is pre-title deed. When it's ready, you get your title deed. If, for example, you are buying ready property, so you don't get this OCUT, you go directly to the title deed, which prove that you are an owner. So everything is very clear. As I said, money goes to the escrow account to the developer. It's actually very important to check, because like some developers, like small ones, they're also trying to send an invoice and say like, or send the money to the corporate account. So that's why here it's very important to work with the agency, because we are checking these documents, we are checking if this is really escrow account and it's not just an account which a developer decided to send. Apart from the just to mention for the extra expenses, you need to know you need to pay 4% of the total price, and you have to pay it immediately. I mean, even if it's under construction and you pay only down payment, like 20%, and the rest you are going to pay when it's handed over, still you have to pay 20 plus 4%. This money goes to DLD Dubai Land Department, to the government.
Okay, so and then tell me, so the processes of a payment process, are you finding a lot there's an investment opportunity here, but there is an opportunity to actually emigrate across with the family to Dubai, and we have seen a lot of South Africans choose that process. Pets, can you bring your animals? Is it acceptable to bring the animals with you? Do you find that the country and the property communities, as you've mentioned, are animal friendly? Is that an option? And then also from a schooling perspective, I know you mentioned there's international schools. I did see that there was some prices put into the Dropbox, but do you find that everything is quite accessible, or is there particular areas which are slightly more friendlier to family units?
Actually, it's a good place to live with a family. Apart from summer, in summer it's really very hot. Honestly, it's very hot. But then if you get used to, you can travel easily. It's close to Europe. It's close to like Asia. It's like a hub, so you can travel to any other countries during the summer, at least July or August, because it's really very hot. And the rest is very comfortable to stay with the family. There are, as I said, there are a lot of international schools. They are like located in a different part of Dubai, so it all depends where you would like to live. So I cannot say that it's better to live in some part of Dubai. So it all depends which area the clients likes. Of course, the people who are moving to Dubai, expats, people who are living here for the long term, we prefer to stay in a community. And we have quite a lot of communities here. It's not just one standing alone building. It's a community where there are as I said, maybe even schools on the territory, greenery, like parks, restaurants, cafes. It's close to downtown or Business Bay or Dubai Marina. I mean, the places where people usually work. It's close. It's just like 10-15 minutes by drive, but at the same time, it's like it's a peaceful place where you can enjoy with your dogs, with your pets, and with your children, which is really very important. Because I mean, I can even share my experience when I came here for the first time. I choose a Dubai Marina as a destination. So I lived for almost 6 months in Dubai Marina. It's very close to Palm Jumeirah, the island I was explaining. It's very close to the beach, but it's very touristic place. It's extremely touristic place. And then first when you come, you see it's so nice, but after like living for a while, you really want to escape. You want to go a little bit far, even if it takes time to come. But you will relax, at least after this crazy work in Dubai. So yes, for the children also there are a lot of activities, a lot of different parks, aqua parks, like a lot of activities. And when my clients are asking, when they're choosing between two countries, for example, two cities, recently we were comparing Turkey, for example, and Dubai. Uh, my client, he had two children under 10 years old, and he was asking where it's not going to be boring. And of course, in Dubai, there are much more activities for the children than, for example, in some cities in Turkey on the coastline. Regarding the pets, I'm not professional on this, let's say. I don't have pets, but as far as I know from my friends, so if they want to bring their pets from outside, they need to fulfill a lot of documents. So it's a process. This is what I know. It's possible, of course, you can bring it, but you need to prepare the documents, maybe to do some, I don't know, vaccination, I don't know. So these kind of things, but you can bring it. Yeah, generally it's pet friendly, but again, it can be, if you have like big dogs, you need to choose the communities where there are much more spaces for the dogs.
My last question, I know you have to get going. My last question, though, is, looking at you've compared Dubai, you mentioned Turkey, you've mentioned all of these other countries. You've also said that it's very much up to you as an individual. So if somebody is interested in coming to Dubai, and obviously they would like to lean on your expertise, what do you recommend? That they come over and set up a meeting with you, and you would be able to take them around and show them various properties? What's your procedure on your side?
So usually we start because we'll work a lot with international buyers, and of course, like not everyone has a chance to come immediately. So usually we start from the maybe presentation by Zoom, also the kind of what we are doing right now, where we can explain, we can show on the map the areas, explain, because there are different areas. There are a lot of projects, by the way, and if we start just sending these properties over WhatsApp or email, it's quite confusing. This is what we find. So it's better, to understand what your client wants. We can just start from the call, but not WhatsApp call. Just keep in mind, because you cannot, you can only send a voice message by WhatsApp or type a message on WhatsApp. You cannot ring. So we set up this meeting, online meeting. We understand what your client wants. It's important, what is the reason he wants to invest, or maybe he wants to move with a family. If he wants to invest, he wants to buy ready one and rent it out. He wants to open a bank account, or there are a lot of questions which we have to ask before we start offering the project. Then we show the area. We prepare a selection of the first selection of the properties. So we give the client time to go through to see and maybe choose some of them which they like. Then we can discuss it again. And once a client is ready, he's coming over to Dubai. Of course, we meet the client, we show him around, and sometimes, we have this situation when a client is choosing some specific properties online, but when he comes here in Dubai, he likes different projects, completely different to the ones which he has chosen. So it all depends. It's very important, as I say, to understand the why, what is the reason a client wants to invest. And also, as I said, there are a lot of properties now on the market, and the clients also have to be very careful by choosing the right project, the right product, the right developer, because it's also important to know if you can resell it, to whom you will resell it, what is the profile of a client who is going to buy it, who is going to rent it out. So that's very important as well.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for putting together such an informative presentation. I really appreciate the comparison to the different types of projects. As you mentioned, the different citizenships and the different residencies. You're looking at Europe, the Caribbean islands, the UAE, and if this is an area that you found, this is what you're looking for from an investment perspective, this presentation really does explain that and give you an opportunity to run through your figures and see what you can do and what it would cost you. Ekaterina, thank you. It's wonderful to bring you in. This is what's so amazing, and I'm still amazed by it, probably because of my advanced years, but it's so wonderful to have so many different people coming in from so many different countries that can share their expertise with us here in South Africa. I mean, 10 years ago, we would never have these types of opportunities, and it's really wonderful that you could come in, bring some time aside, talk to us, give us this, share your absolute insight into this market. And then, of course, we will, anyone that's looking for their details, that are looking at Dubai as an option, will happily share both this segment and also all the details on the business and what they have to offer. So thank you so much. Good luck for the rest of your day. And
thank you very much,
and
Louise.
we will see you soon.